Shalom, shalom, shalom. I would first like to begin the lesson off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Haha Kodash. Yahweh being the true name of the Heavenly Father, which the world ignorantly calls God, in the ancient Hebrew, meaning He exists, and His only begotten Son, which the world ignorantly calls JC or Jesus Christ, in ancient Hebrew, which means He is salvation. Shalom to the brothers out there pushing this truth through peace and sincerity, the Akim, as well as you few sisters out there listening and learning, the Aqua. To you also, I say shalom. This is your brother, Haratza Gabar, back with another lesson through the Spirit. And in today's lesson, and no, this is not weed. I'm not smoking nothing. It's just Palo Santo, holy wood. So pretty much an incense I was lighting for the lesson. Nonetheless, though, today's lesson, if you all did not watch my lesson from yesterday, when I was in transit, I'll be doing my lesson today, talking about, as it is in the title, Iran, USA, and prophecy, right? And this thing's going to go out, but you don't have to worry about that. Nonetheless, though, I want to start the lesson off by playing some clips that I got from Redacted, from a lesson, from a video I watched by them yesterday. Which is what I was mentioning in my lesson I did last night. I want to play these clips from y'all that I got from Redacted. It's a lot. As they were talking to Scott Ritter yesterday, which is a former U.S. NATO inspector, weapon inspector. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the video for y'all, and Lord willing, this lesson be edifying to those out there listening and watching. So, hey man, without further ado, I'm gonna jump right into it. Oh yeah, let me go ahead and say this. I also want to say fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So with that being said, YouTube, please do not strike this video down. This is not for monetary gain. This video is not monetized. I'm not making any money off of it. This is for educational purposes only. So now that I've got that out the way, I'm going to go ahead and play this clip for y'all from Redacted.
Deal. Karen Knessel, she's a former Austrian foreign minister who currently is in St. Petersburg, head of the Gorky Center. She bristles when she hears the term deal, especially when it comes out of Donald Trump's mouth. She says the term deal is the language of gangsters, of thugs, of criminals, of the mafia. Iran doesn't want to deal with a gangster, thug, criminal, of the mafia. They don't want a deal. Iran wants a treaty, a binding agreement. They learned the last time they made a deal with an American president, that deal can be broken by another American president on a whim.
And to add on to that, as you all know, this is information that you could Google for yourself. Israel has broken over 1,000 treaties with the Palestinians.
And that was the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. Iran's not going to make a deal with Donald Trump. It could sign a treaty with the world, but that's not going to back down under the threats right now. So if this happens, this will be an existential fight. that will bring about devastation for all parties involved. And just so all the Americans watching this, I mean, it means the end of the dollar, the end of your economy, the end of the standard of living that you're currently enjoying. You're going to see an economic collapse in the United States that'll make the Great Depression pale in comparison. We can't handle what's about to come. So call your representatives, have them call generals, and have them whisper in Trump's ear and say, don't do this.
Right.
So that was my point. The economic collapse, man. Let me go and get this for y'all real quick. I spelled that wrong. Like, First Corinthians 7:29 says, but this I say, brethren, the time is short, it remaineth, that both they that have wives be as though they had none, and they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoiced not, and they that buy as though they possessed not, and they that use this world not and they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. But I will have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried careth for the things that belong to the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But he that is married careth for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. Right? So the people that are in the world, once again, can go back to what he just said.
Collapse in the United States standard of living that you're currently enjoying. You're going to see an economic collapse in the United States that'll make the Great Depression pale in comparison. We can't handle what's about to come.
The way of life that these people enjoy living is about to cease to exist very soon. As it read in the book of Matthew, 24th chapter, around the 36th verse, right? They're marrying and giving in marriage, drinking and having and wine and all this other stuff, and being in pleasure and all these other things, right? That's about to cease to exist very soon, man. That's why we've been telling y'all to take heed, you know what I'm saying, get right. Because that shit is about to be non-existent, right? That way of life that you all, and that's why a lot of these people, man, they're gonna go down with this place, quite frankly. They love this way of life too much. This is just talking about people who put their trust in America, Babylon the Great, which is known through the scriptures as spiritual Sodom and Egypt. We can get this in the NLT. Isaiah 31:1 in the NLT, it says, what sorrow awaits those who look to Egypt for help, trust in their horses, chariots, and charioteers, and depending on the strength of human armies instead of looking to the Lord, the Holy One of Israel. And that's really concerning our people, man. Right? Because you have wars, we're on the brink of civil war right now in America, which they're trying to get that started, civil unrest and things of that nature, rowdy up the people and things of that nature, which that's also prophecy as well. Like I always say, ordo ab chaos, order from chaos. They're trying to create this chaos in order to bring forth their plan. In his wisdom, the Lord Yahweh will send great disaster. He will not change his mind, right? The plagues are sent, and who is he that may turn them away? He will rise against the wicked and against their helpers. People of this world, man. The Lord is not of this world. I can get that after this. For these Egyptians are mere humans, not God. Their horses are puny flesh, not mighty spirits. When the Lord raises his fist against them, those who help will stumble, and those being helped will fall. They will all fall down and die together. That's concerning people who are of this world, man. James 4:4. James 4:1. From whence come wars and fightings among you? Come that come they not hence, even of your lust that war in your members? Ye lust and have not. Ye kill and desire to have, and cannot obtain. Ye fight and war, yet ye have not, because ye ask not. Ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss, that ye may consume it upon your lust. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God. That's why you're gonna have a majority of people that's gonna be destroyed. It's simple things like that. If people love this way of life, because this way of life don't require them to take any type of accountability or live under a certain type of code. You can just do whatever the fuck you want to do. And we're gonna revisit this chapter anyway. Second Ezra, the 9th chapter and the 14th verse says, Then I answered and said, I have said before, and now do speak, and will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved. Like as a wave is greater than a drop. And that's just the reality of things. This war that's about to happen is going to destroy majority of people living in this land right now.
So call your representatives, have them call generals, and have them whisper in Trump's ear and say, don't do this.
Right. And so I want to ask you two things. First, can you assess the government narrative that this is preemptive, that Iran is going to strike first, even though they have repeatedly said they will not, even though they never have, even though nothing has been proven that they are?
And if y'all don't know what a preemptive strike is, it's pretty much what Israel did, in the sense that like she said, Iran had no plans of striking America. Right? It's like you betraying somebody or assuming someone's gonna hit you before they even hit you, even though they have no plans of hitting you or haven't even thought about it. You the one that's worried about it. Just like Israel tried to make a whole deal. Oh, we felt like Iran was gonna attack us, so we attacked them first.
You're using to monitor Soviet missile capabilities, strategic capabilities that dealt with nuclear war fighting, planning, etc. Jonathan Pollard, an American citizen working on behalf of the Israeli government, stole the most sensitive secrets, gave it to Israel for money, and then Israel sold it to Israel's not an ally. People need to understand that. Israel is not an ally. Israel uses the United States for Israel's purposes, but we're not an ally. Benjamin Netanyahu mocks about how he buys U.S. Congress, how he owns the United States. Israel's been spying on us. When I was back in the intelligence business, we still had a system that had been totally bought out by Israel. And, we had Arabists in the State Department. We had people who cared about America in the Pentagon, and they viewed Israel as the number one threat. Israel is the largest practitioner of espionage on American soil, not China, not Russia, not Iran. Israel is the largest practitioner of espionage targeting the United States of America, operating on American soil, and they're our model ally.
Well, I mean,
see, you can't make this shit up, man. Mind you, remember this: Benjamin Milikowski, mind you, Benjamin Milikowski have been wanting, and they have record of this, continuous videos and clips of this nigga saying it. He been wanting to strike Iran for over 20 years. The people over there in the state of have been going at it with the Palestinians, which aren't the true Palestinians, just the people that are occupying that land right now, since 1948. So this isn't anything new. It's just this is boiling over now. Let me go ahead and get this, man. I'm going to go ahead and get something concerning Amalek as well. We can get 49 and 17, my point being at 20. Jeremiah 49 and 17. It says, also Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. That's why it says in the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter, all of her plagues shall come in one day. Famine, death, destruction, roughly paraphrasing. But the Lord's about to do a number on Babylon the Great. Best believe that. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord Yahweh, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. Right? And I'm looking at, I got Al Jazeera on my TV, looking at the Panama Canal. That just made me think about how America is targeting Cuba now. What did it say? Jeremiah 49 and 15. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. Every day, people hate this country more and more, and other nations as well. They already went after Venezuela. Now they're saying they're going after anybody that buy from Venezuela. So they're targeting Cuba now. And these other nations that they call allies, right? Canada and some in the UK as well, are buying from their enemy nations. It's like Shalom, I'm doing a lesson right now. Okay, come. All right. It's like verse 19, it says, behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan against the habitation of the strong. But I will suddenly make him run away from her. And who is a chosen man that I may appoint over her? For who is like me? And who will appoint me the time? And who is that shepherd that will stand before me? Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he hath taken against Edom, the so-called white man, and his purposes, that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Was back then, the land of Teman was, once again, Edomites. They were known for being very wise. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Amalek, the small hats. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. They have this type of spirit that if we go down, nigga, everybody going down. And that's what it is. Like I just said, Israel have been added with, well, Benjamin Milikowski specifically have been wanting to send strikes on Iran for over 20 years. And what makes it better is the fact that he's getting America involved in this, which we said was going to happen. That's what he wanted. He want America to get involved in it. And now America have gotten heavily involved in this conflict and war that's about to pursue. The reason why I'm making this is because earlier this week, they was planning on sending over strikes today and getting it popping off today. But hey, as you know, Esau Edom, man, they little scary, little timid. So let me see concerning. And Amalek been going at it with us since the beginning. Since we came out of the land of Egypt, they was the first nation to attack us when we was down. That's why the Lord has a strong disdain for these people. As it says, set up over the basis of man. Numbers 24 and 20. Numbers 24 and 19. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. We can give verse 17. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel. That star out of Jacob is talking about Yahushua. And shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheth. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Out of Jacob shall come he, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. Here's my point. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. Like I always say, man, the Edomites have a very, very terrible ending in this story. They're doing well now because, as the prophecy reads in Genesis, they will break the yoke off their brother's neck and shall have dominion over us. But that dominion they have over in Israel.
Israel is bought out by Israel. You know, we still had a system that had been totally bought out by Israel. And, you know, we had Arabists in the State Department. We had people who cared about America in the Pentagon, and they viewed Israel as the number one threat. Israel is the largest practitioner of espionage on American soil, not China, not Russia, not Iran. Israel is the largest practitioner of espionage targeting the United States of America, operating on American soil, and they're our model ally.
Well, I mean, that
is a golden man. That is a gold star clip right there. I won't play it again. It's just beautiful to hear these words. Because it's almost like we've been saying this. But Jake does not listen. My people do not consider.
The United States. Israel's been spying on us. When I was back in the intelligence business, you know, we still had a system that had been totally bought out by Israel. And, you know, we had Arabists in the State Department. We had people who cared about America in the Pentagon, and they viewed Israel as the number one threat. Israel is the largest practitioner of espionage on American soil, not China, not Russia, not Iran. Israel is the largest practitioner of espionage targeting the United States of America, operating on American soil, and they're our model ally.
well, I mean, that's what a battered wife would say. My husband's amazing, right?
And that was a funny saying she had, but that's just the truth, man. It is. It's no way around it. Everything is being controlled by these people, and it's the American people. It's becoming more and more obvious and evident to the American people because they're making decisions that don't even make sense for America to do. That you can take a hand in it, and it's really controlling shit like a puppet. This nigga right here on my screen, Donald Trump, is a puppet. Iranian foreign minister says to Iran, ready for nuclear talks. And that's their problem. You're not finna get them people to not develop a nuclear program when you have one yourself. That's like the pot calling the kettle black. Yeah. There we go. I want to go ahead and get this. It says, what is the current? I asked the AI, what is the current situation between Iran and U.S. as of today? It says, as of January 30th, 2026, which is today, the situation between the United States and Iran has escalated to a state of high alert, with both nations balancing on the edge of a potential military conflict while simultaneously signaling a cautious yet uncertain openness to negotiations. They know that they do this, that's going to set off World War III. Not saying that it's going to happen like that, because of course we know that other prophecies must come to pass before then. But that's gonna light the fire for real. Key developments today: military buildup. President Donald Nero Trump has deployed, and I just want to say this, man. We're glad that Donald Trump is in office. We're rejoicing. This nigga's gonna bring he's gonna bring this kingdom down. He's gonna be the one that bring this kingdom down, man. Lord willing. President Donald Trump has deployed a massive naval armada, which is just a large fleet of ships, including the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln and roughly 10 guided missile destroyers to the region as a just-in-case measure. The administration has warned it is prepared to act with speed and violence if its demands are not met. The Lord been doing a number in that region right now. Joel 3:1, it says the nations will be judged. For behold, in those days, and in that time, for behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which means Yahweh judges or Yahweh Shaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, which that the valley of Jehoshaphat is over there in the Holy Land, right? Whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. That's why so much stuff going on in Western Asia right now. The Lord's gonna ultimately gather up all them small Arab nations to join in the battle and come against these people. And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. This is just stuff. This is like my pops Hadavi Arba says. People, this is all for the controversy of Zion, for things that these nations have done to the Lord's chosen and holy people. Let me continue reading. This is just more heat. Verse 4. Yeah, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into my temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold, that ye might remove them far from their border. Right? We were dispersed, scattered amongst the nations. All right, so I thought that was a recent update. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians and people far off, for Yahweh hath spoken it. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. The Lord's about to do a great number in Babylon, the great America, and over there in that land, in that region, Israel. Beat your plowshares in the swords and your pruning hooks in the spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. These smaller nations are about to start girding themselves up and preparing for war. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. It's off for the Israelites. Now I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip real quick. I got from TikTok. Oh wait, Salaki, let me finish reading this first. It says new sanctions. The U.S. Treasury Department today imposed fresh sanctions on several high-ranking Iranian officials, including the Interior Minister, in response to the regime's brutal crackdown on nationwide protests that began in December 2025. Human rights crisis, internal unrest in Iran has led to an estimated 6,500 deaths and over 42,500 arrests as of Friday night, further fueling U.S. calls for leadership change in Tehran. Mind you, it's already been exposed that those protesters had links to the CIA, Mossad, MI6, things of that nature. So, like I said, they're trying to create civil unrest over there in that region and trying to destabilize their economy to make it easier for them to strike them. Because if they strike, America would get fucked up. That's just the truth. They would. And the fact that now they get more and more backing from Russia and China, it's not looking too good for them. The standoff over negotiations. While both sides have mentioned making a deal, their terms remain miles apart. U.S. demands President Nero has set a deadline without an exact date for Iran to accept a new deal that includes no nuclear weapons, which that's not going to happen. Permanent enrichment bans, limits on ballistic missiles. Let me get this now. I want to get this in KJV. Ecclesiastes, the 11th chapter. I'm going to go to my bread and butter. Let's get Habakkuk, man. Habakkuk 2 concerning these people. Because the U.S. just wants to occupy and be in other people's business all the time, and Israel. Let me find this. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yeah, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home. I'm going to just show you an example of America not keeping at home. How many military bases did the U.S. have? They have over 800 military bases. The United States maintains the largest foreign military presence in the world With roughly 750 sites, some reports suggest over 800 located across every continent except Antarctica. They never keep it at home. Neither keepeth at home. Let's read it again. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home. Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, as it reads, they are not in trouble as other men, as they are seeking to overthrow the Cuban government as well, while in conflict with Iran, while in conflict with Venezuela and Nigeria and Greenland. Iran's response, Salaki, U.S. demands President Trump has set a deadline for Iran to accept a new deal that includes no nuclear weapons, permanent enrichment bans, limits on ballistic missiles, and an end to the support for regional proxies like Hezbollah and Houthis. This is the main reason. This and this. Iran's response. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi stated today in Istanbul that while Iran is open to fair and just talks, it will not negotiate under the shadow of threats or discuss its defensive capabilities, missile programs. Diplomatic efforts. Countries like Turkey and Saudi Arabia are actively engaged in hectic diplomacy to prevent an all-out war, urging both sides to return to the negotiating table to avoid a regional catastrophe. Some analysts and diplomatic sources estimate the chance of U.S. military strike is now roughly 50% or higher as the diplomatic scramble to avert war appears to be losing momentum heading into the weekend. And it's pretty much what I just was talking about. I had another clip as well from that I just had.
How much of Gaza?
Washington has conceded that tens of thousands of American troops deployed across West Asia are sitting squarely inside Iran's strike range. And this is not a warning from Tehran. This is America acknowledging its own vulnerability, that too at a precarious point when threats, counter threats, and military preparations are rapidly converging. Even as Washington detailed that risk, Iran issued a stark warning. The country's foreign minister has said that Iranian armed forces are on full alert with what he described as fingers on the trigger, ready to respond immediately and powerfully to any aggression. In fact, the advisor to Iran's supreme leader, meanwhile, in a post on X said that any military action from America, from any origin and at any level, will be considered the start of war. And its response will be immediate, all out, and unprecedented.
Let's just get this in the scriptures real quick before I go ahead and get this other video I'm talking about. I'm not going to pull this out. Get Second Ezra 15 and 28 says, behold, a horrible vision and the appearance thereof from the east. where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also, the Carmenians, which is another word for the Persians, which is another word for Iran, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, which, if your spirit can receive it, Assyria is another way that America is mentioned in the scriptures. But you got to realize, as far as what I'm talking about with the Carmenians, it's signifying Persia, but then Arabia also is a multitude of Arabic nations, not just Persia. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. And these shall be troubled and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them, which, if you don't know what it means to be besieged, is pretty much a nation or army encamps you around and pretty much cuts off your border so you can't leave or enter into the city. And consume some of them, and in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. Like I say, man, this is just biblical prophecy. Now we're gonna get some concerning wars going. What it's looking like around the world in general. This is from yesterday. Shalaki, I'm trying to make this a little bit larger. It ain't gonna work. So if y'all are unable to see the video, I would suggest that you go on their page and watch it. But nonetheless, though, it's pretty much showing all the conflict and war that's going on around the world. So I just Want to get that real quick. I'm gonna close it off from here. It's locking. Hold on. There's a lot of civil war going around the world as well. In that clip I was showing. Matthew 24:6, it says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." Second Ezra 15:14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. For there shall be sedition among men, meaning revolting, rebellion, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Second Ezra 16:17. Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. And we coming into the time period now where Donald Trump is crashing the dollar. So behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sore famine and great confusion. When they shall say peace and safety, then utter destruction cometh upon them as a woman with travail. Roughly paraphrasing. A great time to be alive, Israel, as we near closer and closer to the kingdom, Lord willing. With that, I'm gonna close it off there. Call Allah Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Raha Kodash. Double blessing and honor to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who taught me this truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And until next time, I say Shalom Israel, Shalom. And as always, we're one day closer to the kingdom, man. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Shalom Israel.